Good morning. It is windy and beautiful. It's a lovely overcast sky, just like my spiritual homeland of Albion. And I feel great. The temperature is wonderful today. As you can probably hear on the microphone, the wind is still pretty considerable. It goes up and down. But I thought I'd start my video sitting here by this little pond today. And just today I want to talk about, since Easter just happened, I've been thinking a lot about my past with religion and my criticisms of Christianity and things like that I have had in the past and still do have to some degree. But I want to talk about that. But first I want to remind you guys that my picnic event is in 2 Saturdays from now. If you want to come, you need to let me know by the end of this week. We only have about 10 people this year. It keeps getting smaller every year. I would like the numbers to grow. So we'll see about next year, but as of right now, there's only 10 of us. So plenty of spots, plenty of food. You can definitely reserve a spot. I think if someone's dad comes, that will only make 11 people plus me, so 12 people. The pavilion can easily sit 60 or 80. We're gonna have plenty of room and plenty of food, more than enough to feed double the number coming. So if you wanna come, let me know. And it's 2 Saturdays from now, April 13th. But anyway, we're going to talk about religion today and why I embrace Christianity like I do, even though I don't technically believe in it. And we're going to talk about why I think having those kinds of beliefs is critically important. And even if you are an atheist, an agnostic, a pagan, etc., why that kind of shared logos matters. So let's start with talking about Christianity and what it means to me personally. It's part of my culture here. It's part of my family life. It's part of business here in East Tennessee, in rural East Tennessee. People expect you to be a Christian. People expect you to understand at least the basics. People expect you to go to church. People expect you around here to know Bible stories, to be able to pray, to understand what being a Christian is supposed to be and what Christians are supposed to do in general. That is a thing here where I live. It's like 9 out of 10 people. So it's extremely important to my ethnic identity here as an East Tennessee Appalachian hillbilly type. Very important to me. You guys know that I guess, am agnostic or atheist, but now that I'm older and I've started studying the rot, the decay of my civilization, my race, I realized that studying civilizational things has led me to see there must be some kind of logos that people share at the top, in the middle, and in the bottom, strata of society, where it gives them a necessary unity to function and form of whatever the society or empire takes. And even though I personally think that pagan stuff is awesome, Odinic stuff, Asatru stuff, I love the concept of, hey, maybe one day instead of, our entire society's logos being something Christian, maybe it could be something more in tune with the European biosphere. I don't know. That's a cool thing to think about. But the reality that we face right now is Christianity won out as the major European religion so long ago it might as well have been forever. And everything that we know, everything we see, everything that we have as a cultural identity, at least somehow touches the 1,000 years of Christendom. And, uh-oh, there's a car coming. Okay, there it goes. Everything that we know, at least and have as any kind of cultural, racial, ethnic touchstone of identity, at least somehow is touched by Christendom for 1,000 years and Christian logos. This belief in an order, a hierarchy, there is a divine thing, there's divine energy, and there's a conduit and that kind of stuff. Now, I'm not saying that there has to be exactly that in anything that we build to have success. But what I am saying is, let's talk in real political power here. Let's say we are going to recapture our destiny of our countries, right? Well, we're going to have power to do that. We're going to have money, dedication, people who are willing to sacrifice wealth, time, life, even sacrifice themselves literally, physically, to be able to unseat and retake and reshape the nature of our countries, what we actually are, that is going to require a shared logos, belief, passion, moral codes, things like that, that are a part of all of us, that all of us invested in, at least for the most part, agree on all of the basics. And I don't see that from anywhere except a Christian logos right now. And I know that many of you who follow me are not Christians. You are practicing pagans. And that's cool. I like that stuff. That stuff's cool. But when I say that there's no unity or power there for achieving regime change or for achieving building a new cultural identity, a real culture soul, we need something that is more unified. We need something shared, something strong, resonant. And as paused and anti-white and retarded and decadent and terrible as the papacy is, as a lot of Christian organizations are, as the churches themselves where I live and where you live have become terrible, there's still, at least in the people, both rich and poor, exists this resonant concept of Christian logos. You can't say that about any other logos in our people and our cultures. So, again, I don't advocate for Christian nationalism because I think that's dumb. But I do think that when it comes to an organized, motivated minority helping us take back power in our countries, we are going to have to base what we are and what we do on a logos. And, I mean, if you look at the core tenets of Christianity, I mean, those are laws I like to live by. Those are laws that shaped our civilization. So that's good. And then you have this concept of a divine hierarchy. Also good. That's a thing that I like and think we should have. So Christianity is useful. It can be used for us. And I know that many of you diehard Christians that are true believers out there are going to not like me saying that because I'm just looking at religion as a tool for power. Well, what channel are you on? I only exist to talk about the things in culture that need to be removed and how both pleb and elite can get rid of the cancer. Like, all I really care about is victory and securing a future for my people. That's all I care about. And I know that makes me sound not very spiritual, but I'm sorry, Christians. Your logos happens to be the one in the driver's seat, the one that is baked into our culture. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to look at pragmatically what I should do and how I should view the religion of Christianity for my goals on earth. Like I said, maybe this means I'm not really a Christian. I don't know. But I think that we have to be willing to use what we have in front of us to build something that will lead our people to victory, to success, to health, and to one day rebuild a thriving instead of dying culture soul for our people. Because right now, we're very weak, civilizationally speaking, compared to what we were. We are weak, deracinated, sick, effeminate, chaotic. We have been broken and poisoned for generations. And some by our own doing, by the way. This is not just all, it's not just all the small hats or the Chi-Coms or the Muslims or whatever. A lot of it is our own fault. A lot of it is problems with decadence and technology. A lot of it is this sort of perversion of English liberalist thought that led us to where we are today. And there's a noisy truck coming. I will have to pause it. Okay, so there were a series of really loud vehicles and I forgot where I was. Sorry about that. I lost my train of thought. It was noisy and multiple vehicles came and they were really loud. I sort of lost where I was, but I vaguely remember. Anyway, the point I was making is we're going to have to create new by revitalizing the things from old that work. And the Christian logos is what we have to work with as far as something that can be shared and is still resonant in our culture soul, as sick as it is. So that is why I embrace Christianity. I practice it. I pray. I have church with my mother and her friends. I enjoy Christian community and Christian fellowship with the other white dissidents that I know that are trying to achieve the goals that I think should be achieved, not just for America, not just for the state I live in here, East Tennessee, but for Western civilization in general, white people in general. There's a lot of good-minded, good-hearted white Christian men who are not paused like most Christians, who do not espouse the cancerous rhetoric that you hear coming from the Pope, that you hear coming from major Christian religious organizations. So, my point with this talk is I endorse and encourage everyone, pagan and Christian, to build the most functional, celebratory, positive religious community and religious group you can around what you believe. If you believe in pagan stuff, if you're Asatru, if you're Odinic or the other ones, do it. But it's going to take a long time for that to have the unity and the importance in cultural movements and in power, when it comes to power, that Christianity has. And so that more than anything is, woo, the wind really picked up. That more than anything is why I am Team Christian. Just like 3 or 4 years ago when I had that long stream on Academic Age's channel with me and Turnipseed, Ryan Turnipseed. And I made the joke, Heil Jesus, because we were talking about nationalism, Christian nationalism, and how those things can intersect and what the problems were. And he said that his problem with people like me, or quote us, the white right or whatever, was he felt like that a lot of our devotion to Christianity was only lip service. And he was right about that. I said so. But I said, the way that they want to live is so heavily in accordance with the way we want to live, most of us anyway, that we are good allies, and white people, whether Christian or pagan, should not fight and kill each other. Because that only serves the anti-white regime. It only builds pain and problems and struggle where we need unity against this anti-white global regime. So, I think I've said all I have to say about this topic. Obviously, it serves me well in my personal life to be a practicing Christian. If I wasn't Christian, it would be like I didn't speak a third of the language around here. It's very important to me, personally, for my local goings-on, for my local identity, etc. It's important. And on a bigger scale, I think it's important too. Because people from the Mediterranean, people from Northern Europe, people from Alaska, we have a similar logos in Christianity. And that's better than nothing. So, that's where I will leave it off today. And man, the wind is really picking up. Anyway, I hope that to hear from some more of you about my April picnic 2 Saturdays from now, April 13th in East Tennessee. Everything is reserved and paid for and ready to go. I just need a few more people to round out the event. So I will wrap it up there. I hope you all have a wonderful week. I look forward to seeing you for Empire of Lies Thursday night. Take care. God bless.